start recording, start streaming. And then...
Alright.
Hold on, let me pull this. Let me pull it up.
Hello.
Just to be 100% certain.
Welcome.
Okay.
Let me also pull it up. We're just getting going here on Book and Brain Club.
Book and Brain Club.
We will be reading, as you can see, here, yes, assorted poetry. We're just getting going here on
Ooh, be kind.
Book and Brain Club.
Oh, okay.
We're going
Yo.
to Twitch.
That's what it is. Oh, man. Okay, hold on.
Book and Brain Club. Sorry that we are taking a minute to get going. It's only our second video.
Nice. Test. I'm just testing the chat, the screen chat. The on-screen chat. Okay, yeah. That's working.
Perfect.
Alright, we're good to go then. Yeah, I mean, at least it seems like we're good to go. Do you want to send the link to Jess?
Yep.
Jessupial?
Or
Okay. And let's... Okay. I kind of want... manager stream? Can I share? How do I do it?
okay.
Did you send it to Jess?
I did send it to Jess.
Okay.
Let's see where we want to get started.
All right.
Ready to go. We could do something silly.
Okay. Which is?
Can you mute that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Thank you. Which is Bo Burnham's poetry to start. Could do something sad. Milk and honey. Could do something off the wall from this random book. Or we could do something, just... Probably should start with Walt Whitman to just kind of ease into it.
some Walt Whitman.
Walt Whitman.
Okay. That seems like a pretty good plan to me.
Yeah, I like that you stay pretty neutral for emotionally for these ones.
Yeah, to get started.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to cry right out the gate,
I do want to cry though.
Oh, you want to have that? Okay, sounds good. We'll have some tears today, don't worry.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Yes, stay tuned, indeed.
Do you know any poems from Walt Whitman?
Like offhand?
Just, can you think of any that you are familiar with?
Not offhand. Like, I feel like if I heard...
Oh, you will, yeah. No, I know you know some of them.
Recognize them, but not offhand.
So, one of the, anybody who, loves poetry or has studied poetry probably already knows about Walt Whitman because he is used in most, curriculum on that subject.
Okay.
But a lot of people know him now because on Breaking Bad, one of the characters ends up quoting one of the poems from Walt Whitman.
I'm the one who knocks?
Huh?
I'm kidding.
The one who knocks.
I'm the one who knocked? He said that? Walt said that?
And it's in relation to when Walt is teaching him how to make the best, drugs he's ever made. And he's, so amazed by the art of it and getting to witness it that he quotes from memory, I think it was The Learned Astronomer.
Okay.
And we will get into that one first.
Sounds good. The learn. Get learn.
Oh, when I heard the learned astronomer.
Oh, the learned.
The learned. Alright. When I heard the learned astronomer, when the proofs, the figures were ranged in columns before me, when I was shown the charts and diagrams to add, divide, and measure them, when I'm sitting, heard the astronomer where he lectured, with much applause in the lecture room, how soon, unaccountable, I became tired and sick, till rising and gliding out, I wandered off by myself, in the mystical moist night air, and from time to time looked up in perfect silence at the stars. So the point of this poem, to put it like super simply, is that learning about something does not compare to getting to experience it firsthand.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's a huge, like, I would say, not even necessarily discrepancy, but I would say that there's a massive difference in the like professional work field between somebody who has a lot of knowledge about something and somebody who has a lot of experience in something. And I would say 2 years of hands-on experience versus like 5 years of just sitting and learning about like everything about something. I think that, I don't know, I feel like
It is more valuable. You're with Walt Whitman on this one.
I am, yeah. I think the actual experience is more valuable than simply learning about it personally.
In a way, I'm with you. Because, especially, like you said, professionally, like, I do think that if you're going to Addicts Anonymous, you're going to learn a lot more helpful tools from somebody who has been an alcoholic and pulled through it than somebody who's just studying addiction.
Right.
And how to get through it. But I would argue that the most valuable information and experience you can have if you're like actually going to help other people with it is to have both. But if you're just enjoying it for yourself, like the knowledge of the stars for yourself, I still think you should have both. You'll have a deeper appreciation for what you're looking at if you understand it more. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. For me, I would say I'm more of a kinetic learner. Like, actually, if you tell me how to do something, okay, I'll probably remember it. If you show me in a video, I'll probably remember it. But if you let me like actually do it, I will remember it forever. Like, I will not forget how to do it. So I guess in terms of just learning about something, I need the experience plus like actually learning how to do it to truly remember it, if that makes sense. Like, if I'm going to figure out the stars in this case, like, I need to be told, hey, this is, this constellation, and then I will go and find it and look at it, and then I'll remember everything, like, if that makes sense.
It does. It is a harder way to learn for sure. Because you would just like, for sure, like your chances of messing it up by doing it are going to be very likely, and if it is hard to fix, then that's kind of
But that's what I mean is experience. Is if you are going to mess it up and you have to fix it, now you know exactly how you messed it up and exactly what you needed to do to fix it. So you're either A, never gonna do that again to mess it up, or B, if it's somebody else or it happens again, you know what to do to fix it, which is experience.
But here's my question for you then. Right, like, you're basically saying embrace the fact you are going to mess it up. Like, that's just part of it.
You can mess up anything. Really.
Yeah. So would you rather be following, a YouTube video and welcoming the mess up so that you learn from it? Because the YouTube video can't give you feedback like, hey, you're fucking up right now.
Right.
And you'll have to really learn from your mistake. Or would you rather have somebody there with you that does know what they're doing and can tell you, like, hey, you're messing up, like, before you get too far into the fuck up? You won't learn as well how to, like, undo your mistakes and, like, practice and stuff as much.
I think I think that depends on the severity of like of what I'm doing. For example, if what I'm doing, like if me screwing up might cost me thousands of dollars if I like really don't know what I'm doing and I'm
Or
getting
you're like
into
trying
it.
to give
Like,
surgery
yeah, if
like
I
for
was
the
doing
first time.
heart surgery for the first time, yeah, I definitely want somebody in the room who knows what the hell's going on
You're
rather than
flying
just
a
a
plane.
YouTube. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
I guess it depends on like the
Yeah.
severity. But if I'm gonna sit down and learn how to reset a garbage disposal, like I'm pretty sure I can, do that with the YouTube. And if I mess it up, like
Mhm.
it's not gonna be that severe of a consequence.
But that is kind of my argument, is that you need to have both. You need to have
Mm.
like somebody who knows what they're doing and then somebody who can appreciate it just by experiencing it.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, and any time that I have done it by myself, like whether it be with YouTube or before YouTube was even really a thing, like a book or just simply putting my mind to it to try to figure it out on its own, like there is a really rewarding sense when you figure it out, if that makes sense. Like when you fix it or you put it together or you've built it with your own hands. Like I don't know, there's just way more reward to it.
It totally is. Like you're more invested as well. Like I
Mm-hmm.
remember when I went to college on the high school's dime,
Mm-hmm.
I failed like 60% of my classes.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I started having to pay for tuition out of my own pocket with like my McDonald's money,
Yeah, yep.
I was like, okay, I'm doing the homework. Like, I'm
Right.
getting the A's. I'm not retaking this class. That would be the worst. So,
Yeah.
not really that like respectful on my end for the opportunity in the first place, but I was like 16, so whatever.
Yeah, I mean, anybody at 16, you're not really.
Just stupid.
Yeah,
I'm
gratitude
just
isn't
kidding.
exactly like a well refined skill at 16
No,
years old.
exactly.
It almost feels like I am entitled.
Yeah, because you just don't know. You just
Yeah,
don't know how
exactly.
the severity of like how much money it is and the
Yeah,
time that it would make
it's like
take to make that money is like you just have no frame of reference to appreciate it.
exactly. It's like you don't really appreciate your parents until you become a parent, and
It's
then you're
true.
like, oh, whoa, okay.
Is it weird to say, like, I do think more 16-year-olds today of this generation have jobs than 16-year-olds I knew when I was 16. Like, I didn't feel like a lot of people were trying to go to work when they were 16 at my age.
Well, I think it's also significantly easier at this point in the world than it was when we were 16 because
What?
you don't even really have to, like, you can your job can be what you and I are doing right now.
Oh,
Your
I
job
see.
like doesn't even have to be you physically show up somewhere. Like you can do a lot of stuff from your phone. You can work remote. Like you know there's so many
There's
different
options.
options. As to
Yeah.
back then. Like, to be honest, at 16, like, you really think I wanted to go spend 6 hours of my day at Taco Bell when I wanted to hang out with my friends or play video games or play sports?
No.
Like, nah, dude. Like, I do have gratitude that like, mom and dad made that possible. That like I didn't have
It's
to
true.
go to work.
Like some kids actually do need
some
to
kids
if they want to have stuff. Yeah.
yeah, if they want to have their freedom, like they're gonna have to do that, which I respect. Like,
Yeah. It's
you know,
true. Like it's more of a necessity for some kids nowadays
definitely.
as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
For sure.
I hope when I'm old enough that Adley, my son, can go to work, that he will not want to. That I can give him a couple more years of being a kid. But when I was 16, part of the reason I wanted to start working at McDonald's was because like I just wanted to be grown up so bad.
Yeah.
I wanted to grow up so bad, way too fast.
Right. Like, way too fast. Like,
I was like, I want to be an adult now.
You really don't.
No,
You
no.
really don't. I mean, not to say like being an adult is the worst thing, but
Yeah.
like, goodness gracious, yeah, you think that your problems are like, or at least I thought my 16-year-old problems were like the end of the world for me, but looking back, it's
Oh, man.
I would love those 16-year-old problems now.
Yeah.
Like, I really
Give
would.
me that.
Yeah, kill for that.
Also, give me that energy too,
Oh,
because getting up at 5 a.m. and going to bed at midnight
was no problem. Now I'm down and out for like days,
Yeah.
and it's not even like the next day. Like let's say I get no sleep at all. Like I'm fine on the next morning that I didn't get any sleep of. It's literally like a day or two later where it finally catches up to me, where I'm like, oh, okay, like
I'm not okay.
yeah, I'm not okay. Exactly.
I'm not okay. And if there's anything you take out of this video today, just that I'm not okay.
I'm not okay. Exactly. I'm gonna share the link with Drew real quick. So.
Oh, okay. I'll share it with my friends too. Why not?
Yeah.
Not.
It's called Book and Bring Club.
Where is my friend in Canada? Shout out to the Canadians.
There you go. Yeah, shout out to the Canadians.
Shout
for
out
sure.
to the Canadians.
Actually, interestingly enough, according to yesterday's analytics, we did have a couple of Canadians.
All right.
Yeah, Canadians come through for our first stream ever, really, in truth.
Woohoo! Love you, Canada.
Yeah. Yeah.
Send it to Mom.
Canada.
So I don't know if she'll open this link, but
You sent it to Mom?
I sent it to Mom, yeah.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
has
alright,
no
so-
idea what's going on.
And then no more cussing, okay?
Aw.
Now we can't read the spicy ones, okay?
Dang it, Walt
The
Whitman does
spicy
have some
police.
spices in here.
Yeah, we did have a little spicy Walt Whitman on the line. Yeah.
Alright, let's get into it. Let's
Alright,
do
what's the
it.
next one?
Alright, this is the last one I wanted to read by Walt Whitman, and it is one of my personal favorites. I have actually read this one to you before.
Mhm.
A Noiseless Patient Spider.
The patient spider?
A Noiseless Patient Spider.
A noiseless patient spider. Got it. Is that somebody you know?
Yep, that's the Canadian I was speaking of.
Okay, hello. Yeah, so basically, we're just reading. You tell.
Yeah,
the
we're reading
Canadian
spicy
fans.
poems.
Tell them what it's all about. Yeah.
It's all about spicy poetry. The whole channel.
No.
We just started it so that we could read smut.
No.
Porn moms on here too.
Yeah, you see it. Hello, Mom.
Hey Mom, that's what this is about.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. But yeah, no, because you're wearing the spider on your shirt today.
I need to know how this came to fruition. Well, as brother and sister, it's just natural. No, it's
Oh, God.
So actually, like the whole point of this channel is that we could just read books.
Yeah.
We're just gonna read. Like today, we're just reading assorted poetry, but like the streams were gonna be just reading and conversation about whatever is being read or whatever needs to be conversed about.
And we do
If
have
it's
needs.
just- Yeah, we have needs. I mean, we are flesh and bone. I mean, I am just a man. Yep. That's what this channel is about. If there happens to be some spiciness, it'll be made known. Wait, I love that. Super awesome.
And maple syrup.
Flesh and maple syrup. Bingo.
Don't forget hockey.
Yep. All right. So the noiseless, tasteless spider.
A noiseless patient spider.
Patient spider. Got it.
A noiseless patient spider. I marked where, on a little promontory it stood, isolated. Marked how, to explore the vacant, vast surrounding, it launched forth filament, filament, filament out of itself, ever reeling them, ever tirelessly speeding them. And you, O my soul, where you stand, surrounded in measureless oceans of space, ceaselessly musing, venturing, throwing, seeking the spheres to connect them, till the bridge you will need be formed, till the ductile anchor hold, till the gossamer thread you fling catches somewhere, O my soul. Yeah. What are your first impressions just of what that poem is about and what it means before I fill your head with my own notions.
Well, a couple different thoughts actually, and yeah.
Let me stroke the dick of my
Yes,
chin.
yes, a couple different thoughts. Let me share here. So actually, first, the very beginning says like the spider is like just sitting in one spot, right?
Yeah,
So
noiselessly
it kind
and
of like
patiently.
gives me the visual of like a student in a classroom, right? Who's
Okay.
being taught about all of these different like these things out in the world, and they're like you're trying to like connect with all of these things that like you're throwing yourself out there trying to connect with all these things in the world that you're being taught about.
Trying to connect them to each other as well.
Try,
Like,
try,
how does math
yeah, exactly.
work with what I'm learning in biology?
Exactly. Like you're like a spider, you're trying to build like connections between
Web
yeah a web.
of knowledge.
And so that's yeah, that's kind of the way I see it. All right. Taking off further?
Yep.
All right, dude. I hope you have a solid day at work.
Thank you. You guys have a good day too.
Thank you, brother. But yeah, I would say that's kind of how I see it. Is that you know you're sitting. You. I don't know. I just see like I have a visual of a child in a classroom, like just trying to put themselves out into the world from the confines of like a solitary singular space, and how much longing that can create to like really connect and like bridge the gap between what your imagination and then I don't know reality. That's just the way that that's my first impression of it.
Oh, okay. So you're thinking of it like you're thinking of it from a gaining knowledge standpoint.
No, not even so much gaining knowledge. Just like the whimsical nature of like wanting to engage with the world in your own way, but like and being intrigued by like maybe what you are learning or like whatever you're trying to put yourself out there into, even if it is from literally sitting right here, because I could be sitting right here and I mean the world is in the palm of my hand at this point, but back in Walt Whitman's time wasn't quite so.
Oh no, definitely not. And this whole like when he was writing poetry, he wrote poetry in the field, observing nature, and also when he was in the military, observing things like in the militia. So a lot of his poems are him interacting with the world, gaining knowledge, gaining those connections through experience. So you can see how that's influenced his writing. I mean, obviously for this one, he specifically was observing a spider in the wild and thinking about, you know, how it is to be a spider, to be standing on that ledge, to be looking at just how big everything is compared to you. And to think to yourself, you know what, like I'm gonna just fly over there really quick to set up my home and make my web.
I mean, that's really
launch
what
forth
it
the
is.
filament and just like be that brave to go flying through space.
But also,
hoping you'll land.
I think there's the other impression I get from that is like the you gotta have some amount of being content with where you are and what you have as well. Like I don't know how many. I don't know if spiders like once they build their web, unless it's like destroyed by something, if they really move to a different.
Not usually. Like some spiders do, just because obviously like some spiders have their web destroyed every day. Like and they just have to find a better spot for it.
Right.
But there are spiders like I know tarantulas specifically are super territorial and usually prefer like a confined space, and they build like hammocks to sleep in underground that aren't meant for like catching prey and stuff and getting destroyed.
So I don't know. I also see it as like finding being content and okay with where you are as well. Like even knowing the world is big. What does me trying to support you being petrified of spiders? Yeah. No, me too. Like honestly, that's fair. I don't necessarily Yeah, not a huge fan. Like I almost left work early one day because I saw a Black Widow. It was like I was an hour into my shift, and I was like, you know what? I got 7 to go, but I don't need to be here.
That's
Like,
probably perfect, like, to be cautious of. Like, it can actually kill you, so
yeah,
that's
yeah,
fair.
no.
But I mean, a little like house spider.
I guess
What are you gonna do, really?
the metaphorical nature, you know.
It's valid. He says it's valid, and he's right.
Totally. All right. Do you mind if I read one of mine, or did you have another one?
No, I say go for it. I think the reason that I liked this poem personally so much, just to like, the last thing I wanted to say about it really, was it found me at a time where I felt like I'd lost my faith, right? And that's when I felt like alone in the universe. I was like, what is truth? How can I find it? Am I really just searching, like, starting at ground one again, like, knowing nothing? And then it was like, yes, it does it take something out of you, in a way, to explore? Like, do you find you are losing yourself and having to let go of pieces of yourself in this journey as well, launching forth filament after filament? Yeah. I think that's like just a natural thing to happen as you grow and you learn. You will have to adapt to your circumstances. Oh, yeah. But you will also find something bigger than yourself. Like you're saying, like with the spiders, building a home, being content where they are. You know, like you're never going to get that if you just give up.
Yeah, certainly. And I think life will give you so many situations where you almost have to start from ground zero, and almost lose yourself to find yourself again.
Yeah.
I would say of all of the experiences I've had personally, I would say parenting, having Emma was one of those moments where it was like, okay, well, I actually have to put aside everything about what makes me me, except for the responsibility of going to work, because this human is entirely reliant upon me to survive at this time. Like every effort I need to needs to go into ensuring that this human survives this phase in which they're completely reliant upon me. And that means I'm going to have to sacrifice my endeavors or work whatever my endeavors are around, like making sure that this person survives. Yeah. And that's not a negative thing. Like I learned so much about like myself and what I'm capable of, and like just so much about her and her needs in observation of like, you know, of her, that it wasn't a waste of time. It just was a ground zero experience, because you're not handed a manual with like, hey, this is what you need to do to make sure your kid lives for the next rest of their life, you know. And I think there's other situations, like I would say losing a job, like if you were fired from a job, that's another ground zero moment. Yeah.
Especially if you're like super specialized in that job, like when Dad did only firefighting for decades, and now like he physically can't, and it's like, well, I don't know how to do anything else.
Right. Yeah. What do I do? Where do I go from here?
I've never even worked in fast food, so like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So how would I even do that? Which I'm sure you figure out, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's so many, and that concept of ground zero is actually something that I address in this poem that I wrote, "The Tree." It's one of the many, I think, viewpoints that I consider. But anyway, if you don't mind me.
No, I think that's a great idea. I'm going to see if there's a poem I've written that I would not hate sharing.
Okay. So, this is called "The Tree." Amidst an ever-changing landscape stands an everlasting tree, who has long since been forgotten, and not a soul will come to see. The eve of howling winds did come, and weaker wood did fall. though parts of it were whisked away, probably it continued to stand tall. O'er the course of many moons, new life upon it bloomed and thrived, yet despite its every effort to provide, were unable to survive. The lightning came and struck the ground, found dry and bare from summer's air, and while flames grew hot and spread their wings, it looked outward with despair. For what had once surrounded it was now ashes with no place to rest their head, and what was full and lush for years unknown now silently seemed dead. The birds no longer woke its rest, though the sun would often rise. The moon would follow hitherto after the gradual decline. The color that once filled its view now filled its sight with gray. It stood alone with nothing left to occupy its day. While the rain of wetter seasons came and would only say hello, it understood that what it won't see now was happening below. So patiently it waited as new life began to grow. Thus the natural course of life unfurled was observed by only one, who could not properly convey the good that had been done. It stood the test of time elapsed and will forever do it well, but bears in mind a story that it can't quite seem to tell. Which I know I've shared that one with you before, but just curious, what if you have any thoughts at this moment based on some of our conversation.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I have more insight now just knowing you into that poem. Knowing that, like, we even talked about this in the last video, right? That you know the amount of effort that you've put into growing. Like, you know how much you've done intentionally. And that's just not going to be seen. Like, the 2 hours or the 2 minutes of a violin song performance versus, like, the 72 hours of practice that went into it before we put it on, kind of thing. I'm like, oh, okay, so that's like the metaphor of the tree and the roots growing beneath it and it growing and nobody can see the roots.
Right.
I see.
And also that, like, just kind of the concept of, like, I don't know, I think of that when I was, like, thinking that poem, it was very much so a visual, like, experience for me, and I still would love to, like an animated thing or even like a artwork, like just like a drawing. I don't know, like a kid's book, like
that'd be perfect for a kid's book. It's like just the right length, and the tree is like a perfect little cute thing for a kid.
Yeah, but just the visual of, like, it's okay, like we were just talking about, like the tree was completely alone. It was at literally ground zero, but it understood that just with time and patience and just existing, that things, even if you were like, the tree is still an active participant, but not as active of a participant as a human being could be. I'm just seeing it as, like, even if you're not necessarily a super active participant in how things are changing around you, they are inevitably going to change around you. Like,
they are. Everything changes.
Everything changes, but in this case, it's for the best, because it's a forest, it's a ecosystem that's, like, becoming healthy and all that stuff again.
It's natural.
Yeah, and obviously, I don't know. I guess you could look at, like, maybe just the red forest and be like, okay, well, I wouldn't even call that a forest, but there can be rebirth after such a terrible tragedy. Like, things are possible. I don't know, but yeah, that's there's a lot of different viewpoints from that poem. Writing it, how I felt about things.
Ultimately, very optimistic.
Yeah, a glass half full poem, and I do have some glass half empty ones too, or there's not even a glass at all. This is just water on the floor type poem.
Yeah.
But,
broken glass type poem. Oh, that's fair. I've never, like, read this poem out loud.
Okay.
I don't think the flow is gonna be very good. Like, it rhymes, but I don't know that it flows.
I think that's the thing about poetry and just the writer's own voice. I don't think it's designed especially for like free form poetry to where it has to flow. I think it's just whatever, you know.
I respect that. You have a more welcoming standard for poetry.
Yeah, unless it's very strict.
Yeah, unless you're going for a specific like
Sistina or something.
form. Yeah.
Haiku, but
yeah, like you're not doing a butterfly stroke by cannonballing into the pool.
Yeah. Right.
Get real.
Get real. Let's hear it.
Okay, so this poem, I feel like I have to say what it's about before getting into it. I don't know if it will be clear. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just say it and you tell me what you think.
Okay.
Alright. Feels like drinking water with my hands. A careful, difficult process being by you. But I'll do all that I can, not to reach for hair strands, or dream of something new. And thoughts fall like drops through my fingers to be free of an alternate universe or some such fabrication. But I've already crocheted fantasy with reality, and I'm not so controlled as I planned. I pray you don't, and I pray you do. Of course, it goes unheard. I never vocalized desires for you to hear. I didn't breathe a word. Must you stand that near? Is this lust, or is it fear? As the water falls through my hand, this can't be fabricated. You have to know. So why are we sitting in my car alone, without anywhere to go? Don't stay so silent and still. Tell me something. It doesn't have to be good news. I've got nothing but my mind to lose. And I'll take deep breaths at the times when you unknowingly allow. Then you look at me like I'm sure it's happening now, over your shoulder, and I shrink. The way you talk down makes you taller than you think, but I'm yours to command as the water falls through my hand. I don't think I've ever shared that with anybody before.
Well, why not?
Because it was about, like, it was a long time ago, and I was in the closet, and it was about one of my female coworkers that I had a crush on.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that make more sense? That's why I feel like I should say that before I read it. But I wondered if it would just give you that idea that I'm, like, thinking about, you know, someone romantically and, like, really, like, I'm spending time with them wondering, like, you know, are we being just friendly as, like, women, or...
I don't know, I guess I wasn't thinking of it in terms of your life or your reality.
What were you thinking
more so
of?
Thinking about it from the perspective of like a universal experience. I know I wasn't putting it directly to your I don't know, the way that I heard it was it's like there's you have tangibles in that, like, you can feel the water, you know your hands are there, you have your real experiences, but then you're saying that, like, if it's going through your fingertips, like, sometimes you have to let go of experiences. However, you also are living in this, like, kind of like fantasized, romanticized maybe experience, but you're weaving both of them together. So, like, you're almost telling yourself, not necessarily gaslighting yourself, but you're building your reality based on, like, what you know and what you think, and then I don't know, I just see it as, like, you are building, like, your reality based on what you know, what you think, what you see, what you feel, even whether it's tangible or not, and that's, like, guiding your overall emotional, like, the overall way that you move throughout the throughout the universe. Um, that's kind of how like I see it, and whether that's painful or whether that's beautiful, I don't know. I don't really. I see your ending as it's like a little bit more tragic, considering they were talking down to you to make you feel taller.
Yeah.
But it could be both, like your fantasy versus the reality, and like it can be both beautiful and destructive. I don't know. That's the way I saw it. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I think that's perfect.
Uh,
Especially at that time. Like, I really felt like even if the feelings were reciprocated, which was like the fantasy I'm like feeding myself delusionally based on like some glimpse into reality that I'm not even sure is real. And like, even if that was the case, that she did feel that same way, it still would have been a tragedy in my mind. Because at the time I was like, yeah, girls aren't supposed to be together, and so we can't be together anyway, so why does it matter if it's real or not? Because I'm not going to ever act on it anyways. So now you've become this like source that holds a power over me, where I'm like, okay, well, if you don't like me, then I'm sad, and if you do like me, I'm sad. So now, just because of you like existing, I am sad.
yeah, man, how sad is that?
I mean, I'm over it now for sure.
That both, like, literally, you existing or you not exist, like, oh yeah, it's terrible. It's poetically sad, yeah, for sure. It's supposed to be so misunderstood.
Oh man, yeah.
I get it, yeah, for sure.
All right.
Cool.
Did you have a poem written by somebody else you wanted to share?
Written by somebody else that I wanted to share?
Yes.
No, I didn't really prepare as many. Like I didn't think about it because this was gonna be you.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
This one more than me.
The space in case you did. There is a poem I would like you to read.
You want me to read?
Sure. Yes.
I
know you're going in blind.
Okay.
Going in raw.
Yep, that's exactly it. As I always do, Don't know any other way. Okay, what's it called?
Okay. I believe it is called Bright Star.
By who?
Would I were steadfast.
Bright
as thou art.
Star.
It is a very long title, actually.
Would I were steadfast as thou art. By John Keats.
Yes, he's another pretty famous poet. He has a poem in this collection, a random one, but this is not the poem that he has in there. This is my favorite poem by John Keats.
Okay, let me make sure this is the whole thing. Is it kind of short, actually?
It is pretty short. Yeah, relatively.
Okay, you'll have to let me know if it's the whole thing.
Okay.
Bright star, would I were steadfast as thou art. Bright star, would I were steadfast as thou art, not in lone splendor, hung aloft the night, and watching, with eternal lids apart, like nature's patient, sleepless eremite, the moving waters at their priest-like task, of pure ablution, of pure ablution round earth's human shores, or gazing on the new soft fallen mask of snow upon the mountains and the moors. No, yet still steadfast, still unchangeable, pillowed upon my fair love's ripening breast, to feel forever its soft fall and swell, awake forever in a sweet unrest, still to hear her tender taken breath, and so live ever, or else swoon to death.
So I heard this poem in a movie. I think it was the movie about that lady that couldn't actually sing opera that well, but they were like gaslighting her the whole time.
They
She
were
was
what?
really sick or something.
They were what the whole time?
Gaslighting her into thinking she was like a really good opera singer.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Because she was super sick.
Okay, I see.
I think. Yeah, I think that's what the movie was about. But anyways, so her like lover, who was in love with her when she was super healthy, and is now in love with somebody else, but doesn't feel like he can leave her because she's dying.
Gotcha.
Sits at her bedside and basically reads her this poem about like wishing that he was more loyal and committed to his fair love's ripening breast. That he finds himself like a star hung aloft at night, like surrounded by these like other twinkling stars, which is interesting because they are literally celebrities, and being tempted by them and their beauty. Yeah. But it's also interesting that the poem kind of has these thematics of religion and priesthood and absolution, pure absolution, like coming clean, being clean.
Well, it seems like this was written in an era where, and maybe I'm wrong, but this seems like absolutely like an Enlightenment era poem. I don't know what year it was written, but like that whole era was about religion, enlightenment, bettering of self, love, brightness, color, which just kind of seems like that. Like it fits in that.
Let's see how old John Keats do be. Imagine he's still alive. We were just talking about him.
Yeah, no, he's actually. It was written between 1818 and 1819, which I don't know. It's interesting though. Like just.
It peaked. The Enlightenment was a movement that peaked during the 18th century.
Yeah, so it was an Enlightenment era poem.
So, according to Google.
According to Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah, according to Google.
Oh, Google.
Google.
According to Yu-Gi-Oh, I believe in the heart of the Enlightenment.
The heart of the cards.
I play Blue Eyes White poem.
Okay, so I have for you to choose from.
Okay.
I have. What the heck? Why did I put a marker here? This is terrible.
Maybe it was an already existing marker.
Oh, The Road Not Taken. Everybody knows that one though. Road Not Taken. We ain't reading that. No. Okay, so
you should read The Road Not Taken.
Okay, I'll put it in.
Not everybody knows that one.
We're already at 48 minutes.
Can't assume everybody knows The Road Not Taken.
I guess. Let us know if you don't know The Road Not Taken. I'll be like, I know nothing. Okay. There's a poem about
a road not being taken.
Nature.
Oh, okay.
It was so kind of. There's a poem, a cowboy poem. It's silly. There's a cute little poem about nature. Or there's a love poem.
Let's do The Road Not Taken first.
All right.
Let's get away from this lovey-dovey crap.
Did we read a lovey-dovey crap before?
We literally just did.
Oh yeah.
Let me touch
it was.
and view your swelling breast, that I may succor upon it.
You're right. I did write that. Yes.
Okay. What's this? Oh, The Road Not Taken. Okay. The Road Not Taken. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveler. Long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that the passing there had worn them really about the same. and both that morning equally lay, and leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Robert Frost. I think everybody, the majority of people have probably heard the ending of that one, but definitely not
The full
the
poem.
first three stanzas for sure.
Yeah.
It's still really good. You know, there's a beat of your own drum.
Yeah. It makes me think of the Dead Poets Society, that this one would have definitely been one of the collections that would inspire them to be like free thinkers and like
For sure. What a great movie that was.
do their own thing.
Yeah. As anyone should.
Ready? I think you should read The Shooting of Dan McGrew, so I will leave that one.
The Shooting of Dan McGrew.
Yes.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. So I will read the love poem.
Okay.
Alright, it's not too long. Believe me, if all those endearing young charms, which I gaze on so fondly today, were to change by tomorrow and fleet in my arms, like fairy gifts fading away, thou wouldst still be adored, as this moment thou art. Let thy loveliness fade as it will, and around the dear rune of each wish of my heart would entwine itself verdantly still. It is not while beauty and youth are thine own, and thy cheek unprofaned by a tear, that the fervor and faith of a soul can be known, to which time will but make thee more dear. No, the heart that is truly loved never forgets, but as truly loves on the close, as the sunflower turns on her god when he sets, the same look which she turned when he rose. I love the idea that like sunflowers are an example of devotion, that because they keep their face towards the sun all day, it's like a signal of how much they just love and adore the sun. Just cute.
Yeah. They really do.
Yeah.
They're also keeping their face to the thing that is giving them life,
Yeah.
ultimately.
Which I think the author was trying to like imply there.
Mm-hmm.
That their love gives them life, that they want to love for life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good.
It is a good one. I like that one. I don't care if you're old and got city balls. You're mine.
Yeah, I don't care if you're old.
I don't give a damn.
Hey, why don't you look at you like a sunflower? Hey, be a sunflower for me, darling.
So this one is kind of long. I'll let you decide if you do want to read it or not. It's just a little bit goofy.
Okay.
You should read it in a cowboy accent. Bow, wow, wow, womp, womp, womp.
Okay.
It's got that vibe.
Sounds good. Let's see. Let me get into to a cowboy like southern drawl. The Shooting of Dan McGrew. And a bunch of the boys were whooping it up in the Malamute Saloon. The kid that handles the music box was hitting a jig-time tune. Back of the bar in a solo game sat Dangerous Dan McGrew, watching his luck with a light of love, the lady that's known as Lou. When out of the night, which was 50 below, and in the den and the glare, there stumbled a miner fresh from the creeks, dog dirty and loaded for bear. He looked like a man with a foot in the grave, scarcely the strength of a louse. Yet he tilted a poke of dust on the bar and called for drinks for the house. There was none could place the stranger's face, though we searched ourselves for a clue. But we drank his health, and the last to drink was Dangerous Dan McGrew. There's men that somehow just grip your eyes and hold them hard like a spell. and such was he, and he looked to me like a man who had lived in hell, with a face most hair, and a dreary stare of a dog whose day is done. And he watered the green stuff in his glass, and the drops fell one by one. Then I got to figuring who he was and wondering what he'd do, and I turned my head, and there was watching him was a lady that's known as Lou. His eyes went rovering round the room, and he seemed in a kind of daze, till at last that old piano fell in the way of his wandering gaze. The ragtime kid was having a drink. There was no else on the stool. So the stranger stumbles across the room and flops down there like a fool. In a buckskin shirt that was glazed with dirt, he sat and I saw him sway. And he clutched the keys with his talon hands. My God, that man could play.
Oh, dang.
Were you ever out in the great alone?
I didn't realize he went hard on the piano trying to seduce Lou.
Indeed. Were you ever out in the great alone when the moon was awful clear and the icy mountains hemmed you in with a silence you could almost hear? With only the howl of a timber wolf, and you camped there in the cold, a half-dead thing in a stark dead world, clean mad for the muck called gold. While high overhead, green, yellow, and red, the northern lights slept in bars, then you have a hunch what the music meant, hunger and the night and the stars. And hunger not of the belly kind that's banished with bacon and beans, but the non-hunger of a lonely man for a home and all that means.
It's awesome.
For a fireside far from the cares that are four walls and a roof above, but oh, so crammed full of cozy joy and crowned with a woman's love, a woman dearer than all the world, and true as heaven is true. God, how ghastly she looks through her rouge, the lady known as Lou. Then on a sudden the music changed, so soft that you could scarce hear, but you felt that your life had been looted clean of all that had once held dear, that someone had stolen the woman you loved, and that her love was a devil's lie, that your guts were gone, and the best for you was to crawl away and die. 'Twas the crowning cry of a heart's despair, and it thrilled you through and through. I guess I'll make it a spread misery, said dangerous Dan McGrew.
Dang, he's just like
Yes,
totally eliciting the most insane, sad emotions with the piano.
right. The music almost died away, then it burst like a pent-up flood, and it seemed to say, repay, repay, and my eyes were blind with blood. The thought came back of an ancient wrong, and it stung like a frozen lash, and the lust awoke to kill, then the music stopped with a crash, and the stranger turned, and his eyes they burned in a most peculiar way. In a buckskin shirt that was glazed with dirt he sat, and I saw him sway. Then his lips went in a kind of grin, and he spoke, and his voice was calm. And, boys, says he, you don't know me, and none of you care a damn. But I want to state, and my words are straight, and I'll bet my poke they're true, that one of you is a hound of hell, and that one is Dan McGrew.
Just calls him out.
Right. Then I ducked my head, and the lights went out, and two guns blazed in the dark, and a woman screamed, and the lights went up, and two men lay stiff and stark. Pitched on his head and pumped full of lead was dangerous Dan McGrew, while the man from the creeks lay clutched to the breast of the lady that's known as Lou. These are the simple facts of the case. I guess I ought to know. They say that the stranger was crazed with hooch, and I'm not denying it so. I'm not so wise as the lawyer guys, but strictly between us two, the woman that kissed him and pinched his poke was the lady that's known as Lou. Robert W. Service.
Pinched his poke. That's
Pinched his poke.
That's
All right.
gross.
I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. So.
Okay. How do you like that one though?
Well, ask the audience if there is one.
Hey audience.
Please.
Hey, there's no one.
There's no one. Yay!
It's just me.
It's just you. Cool.
Me? Oh, hey. Travis said 10 out of 10.
Oh, 10 out of 10.
Dang.
The reading or the poem?
Oh, definitely the poem.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. The reading was good too.
Nice little storytelling.
Yeah. Oh, you don't have to be sorry, silly goofer. Okay. This one is cute. We'll read the cute one. That's what we'll get into. Yeah. Exactly like that. Exactly like that. That was the vibe. Hey, Bandit. Hey, Bandit. Come here. Oh, let's get you on the camera, buddy. Come here. Just says that one was silly. What do you want? Do you want up on that? Huh. Huh. Oh, oh, don't hurt me. You can see the baby now. He is big and he is ugly. Okay. Please don't hurt me. Alright. Do you want to hear this poem? You do? Okay. Ow, Bubba. I know he grows fat with age. Oh. I tried. I gave it effort. I am also fat with age. I'm a woman now. A woman known as Lou. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, and all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. Beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such jocund company. Jocund? Jocund? I actually don't know that word, but...
How's it spelled?
Jocund.
Jocund.
I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft when on the couch I lie in vacant or in pensive mood, which I do be doing, they flash upon the inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And they my heart with pleasure fill, and dance along with daffodil.
I did not catch all of that one, but
Sprightly.
it sounded cool.
It was. Just cute.
Yeah.
Alright. We are at an hour of 3. We can
One more?
read one more. I did text myself. Oh, that's the one I had you read. That's good.
Okay. Do a funny one?
We could do the egghead one.
An egghead, a Bo Burnham.
Bo Burnham.
Also, I'm getting fatter with age too.
Oh.
Yeah, like all like. I should probably hit a GM.
Buddy. Friend.
He got his claws in your shirt.
Power.
Yeah, you gave him some attention, and now it's all over. All right. Do you have one in the Bo Burnham egghead that you like?
I don't know if he would let me do that. Okay, let me get you back on the camera.
All right. There you go.
There you are.
Hey, thanks. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Skibbity toilet. Drew's on. I don't know what Skibbity Ohio toilet means, but welcome, dude.
We have been accused of neglecting her. Ow!
Having fun at Matt's parents' house. That's that. I know how that's always a blast for you. Every time, just the greatest experience.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hold on. You clicked something.
Oh, bud.
How dare you neglect it? It's not. You can't, like, he doesn't allow you. You're still pressing things. He's clicking things. He doesn't allow you to
Ow! All right.
ignore him or be
Goodbye.
neglected. He puts himself into your presence whether you want him to or not.
You could say no the whole time and he will just
Yeah.
get up anyways.
His understanding of like personal space is literally like it doesn't exist to him. Your personal bubble, yeah. I find an e-kitten. I know he's like, he's searching for love. I mean, he's really like any of us.
All he lives for,
That's
really.
really all he lives for. Yeah, it's like love and being pet, and it's weird because I swear like he's slightly masochistic. Like you can pet him and like do like just the weirdest thing to him, the weirdest things, and he's like totally about it. He won't attack you at all.
No, he wants you to play him like a bongo.
Yeah, exactly, like a bongo. Yeah, he's like a bongo, or other ridiculous instruments. A tambourine.
Dude, somebody out there is cool as heck.
Dude.
Dude, there's so many good ones. It's like, how do I choose? It's just
They're kind of short too. So like
just the ones. So if you like Shel Silverstein, you'll be like all about this.
they are so all so different. Like very. It's just so crazy that there are so many different personalities that animals can all have personalities. Even if they can't say anything. You know?
Yeah, even my tarantula had a personality, which I didn't think was possible until I saw another tarantula that was the exact same species and gender. So I was like, okay, like, they're gonna be, you know, carbon copies of each other and behave the same way. That tarantula happened to be terrifying. Like, Waffles, if you even just blew on her back, like, the air would scare her into hiding behind her legs. This tarantula I saw at the pet store that was the exact same as her, same size, same gender, same species, was standing on a pile of corpses of crickets it had eaten and just like asserting its territory as king of the hill for that like tank.
Yeah.
I was like, that is not the same vibe. Like, they are totally different personality-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like, because we've gone to the animal shelter, you know, and I've seen so many dogs. To be honest, actually, growing up, I was kind of terrified of dogs, because like I'd been barked at like by some bigger ones that it had terrified me of all dogs. If I'm being super real,
Yeah.
I don't think I became truly comfortable with dogs until being around Drew's dog, Finley.
Oh,
that's
Drew
probably
does have a super chill dog.
the first time I felt like, okay, like I'm not
Like, you know this dog is not going to jump up on you or
or
anything.
hurt me or harm me in any way, shape, or form. God bless you, Finn. You know.
For real.
But yeah, I'd say that was the first time. And even still, like when we go to the animal shelter, like there is that little childlike part of me that has like some fear of like, you know, of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the heavyweight
I mean, they
champion
can
of the
definitely
world.
mess you up.
For sure, dude. He is. Yeah, well, yeah, they could, but yeah, I'd say Finn was the first time I felt that way. He is the heavyweight champion of the world of dogs. Like the fact that he's still so healthy this many years later is a blessing for sure. And he's handsome, you know. So he's a lady killer.
Very nice.
All right, what do you got? Which one?
Oh, man, I don't even know. Maybe I should just open it and
Just
let
whatever
the
one
book
comes up.
decide itself because,
Let
like,
fate to
it really is
determine.
not a bad one.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. You tell me when to stop.
Okay, stop. All right, here. You want me to read it?
Yes.
Sweet. All right. I'll show the.
Wait, yeah.
Show the. Oh, there you go.
There it is.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool, yeah, great. Totally my
You
life
offered,
story.
you
Yeah,
offered.
yeah, I chose this one. I fuck sluts. Here you go, Mom. You're gonna like this one. Sluts. I fuck sluts. Sluts get fucked when I fuck sluts. No ifs, ands, and or buts. I fuck sluts. I fuck sluts. Nice girls are nice, but no good for nut sucking. Oh God, this is terrible. You'll need a serene night to green light a butt fucking. But that'll be easy with sleazy old slut fucking. Boo to the nice girls. Praise be to slut fucking. I have a list. A list? Yes, a list of all the sluts I've missed. I've never fucked or sucked these sluts, and thus my nuts are fucking pissed. So when I fuck the lucky slut, my nut removes her from the list. Another dumb cum bucket struck from my nut sucking, suck it slut, slut fucking bucket list. Yeah.
What a mouthful.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Is this by Dr. Seuss?
This is by Dr. Seuss, yes. This was written by Dr. Seuss, yes. This is for kids. Yeah. They read this to me in 3rd grade. I loved it. Changed my life. Sluts can be white, black, brown, pink, or almond. They can be skinny with big tits or be skinny with small ones. Sluts can be perky, preppy, or posh, with their brains and their clothes all shrunk from the wash. But other sluts are pretty and funny and smart. They can lift all your thoughts from your dick to your heart. They can talk about science, music, or art. They can put you together or pull you apart. Don't trust these sluts. Don't you dare. They'll force you to trust them and love them and care. And then they'll be gone, and then you'll be aware of that hole in your heart that dumb slut left there.
That dumb slut. I feel like he definitely got dumped.
Yeah, you for sure. You got hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt.
You got hurt. All right, now you tell me when to stop.
Wait, Jess said that he memorized that poem.
Wait, Bo?
Yeah, Bo Burnham had that memorized.
I totally believe that. Like, this is pretty.
That's crazy.
Pretty well written. All right, you ready? Tell me when to stop.
All
Ready?
right.
Okay, here we go. I'm starting.
Stop.
Okay. There's 2 poems on this one.
Okay.
The first one is called Gypsy, and it reads, on Wednesday morning, clear and calm, I went to Astor Place and had a gypsy read my palm or maybe just my face. She said my heart was heavy and my head was stuffed with lies, but things like that weren't on my hand, they hid behind my eyes. The room is dull and dank and cold, but at least I have a hand to hold.
It's a half glass full
Totally.
mentality again. At least I have a glass.
Right, at least I have a hand.
Yeah.
Bar joke. A priest, a rabbi, and a horse walk into a bar. The bar bursts into flames. The horse escapes, only to drown in a lake later that night. As for the priest and the rabbi, turns out they were just 2 other horses. My mistake.
Wow, he tried to lay up a joke and just went way off rails.
Yes.
Madly off rails.
Alright, here you go.
Okay.
If you had one more in mind, yeah, same.
I have 2 poems left total that I had marked for any of this. And then other than ones that you may have written, I thought maybe if you wanted to share one more of those.
I mean, I have just a couple. I have a couple. A couple that I could read, I'm sure.
I wrote one that was very short. It says, this eternal, infernal debate, this petal-plucking plight. Answers to this question have not wrought. Does he love me?
Oh, sorry, were you reading?
Does he love me not? No, that was it. I was just saying it, speaking it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were reading one or right then, because I was definitely interrupting you.
You're just making it up.
Oh, you're making it up on the spot? Dang. Okay. Way to go.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Let's see if I can find it. I had like a couple funny ones. I have.
I'm just gonna read this one because it's really short. While you look, it is like super short.
Okay.
It's from this collection, Milk and Honey, which is like mainly sad. Like it's like has a sad overtone, but there are a couple poems in here. It's broken up into 4 different sections. The hurting, the loving, the breaking, the healing. So you get 2 like sad chapters, and you also get 2 like pretty wholesome ones.
Wait, notice that you've seen the book, this one that Michaela has, or Milk and Honey, or a different one, the Bo Burnham one.
I'm assuming this one.
I'm assuming that one too. But...
Yes. Here we go. What am I to you, he asks. I put my hands in his lap and whisper, you are every hope I've ever had in human form. So cheesy.
So like some Pinocchio?
No, he has a sword, I guess.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It's just like very wholesome. Everything I've ever even wanted to want.
So you wanted to want or wanted to want to hear?
Everything I've ever wanted to want
Wanted to
exists in you in human form.
Want. That would be nice.
Everything I've ever wanted.
Yeah, that is very nice. I would love to hear those words just once in my life.
You'd be like, what am I to you? And she'd be like, oh, the Cinderella quote, you're nothing more than a pebble in my shoe.
Yeah,
Like,
you are an inconvenience to me that I cannot get out of my head until I take off my shoe and dump you on the dirt. All right. Yeah. No, I feel like I've already heard that, and I'm good. Yeah, I don't really want to go back to that. So this one I wrote is about I'd met someone that was just like a classic one-upper. Like, I swear to God, I would say something and he would always mean it with like, oh yeah, dude, well one time, like, and it just had to be a little bit better than what I had to share. Like, we couldn't just sit with what I had said for a moment. Like,
bro.
yeah, like, bro, okay.
Share the spotlight.
Yeah, exactly.
The worst type of person.
Dude, for real. So I wrote this poem called One Up. And it goes, I've gazed upon eternal beauty. I've counted up the stars. I've driven to Hawaii in an underwater car. I've counted to infinity while mastering the art of Zen. I've summited Mount Everest twice and would do it twice again. I own so many classic cars, each more classic than the last. I got a deal on Shark Tank with every member of the cast. I can confidently predict what lies ahead by looking at the past. I once bought a goldfish that lived for 16 years. I outdrank Andre the Giant by downing 120 beers. I once went on a TV show but never once felt fear. If you counted all the things you've done, it won't matter none to me, because always and forever I've got you by one, as you can see.
That's pretty good.
It was ridiculous, and it was always some like it was always some bullshit. Like, it was like, I caught a fish like this big, and it's like you're just clearly
you're just making it up as you go.
Like, bro, like, yeah.
Come on.
Right, like, cap. Oh no, that's not. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you said so. No, dude, like, I've definitely downed 120 beers. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
I specifically met Andre the Giant, and he agreed to try.
Yeah.
And he came up short.
He came up short compared to me.
For no reason.
Especially the Mount Everest twice thing. That's the biggest one.
Yeah, there's no way anybody in the world has done that.
No.
Like, there's more than one. Yes, they probably have.
Totally. Absolutely a place of insecurity and fulfillment. It's like, and all, like, you're right. You're spot on, because I'll admit to times in my life where I have, like, fabricated something to make myself look better than I am. I'll admit, because I was not secure or fulfilled enough in what I had actually accomplished, that I had to make myself look better.
No, it's like and when your friend asks you, like, what have you been up to today, and you're like, oh shoot,
like all I did was take like a pretty small shit today.
Yeah,
it's nothing worth writing home about.
Yeah, so you're like, you have to glorify that
but
shit.
It was a big shit. Yeah, it was a bowl wrapper. Like, you can't make it better than it was. Yeah, it poked me.
You have told me that.
I went for a run, spent 8 hours running. Yeah, exactly. Like,
oh my god, yeah. No, exactly though. That's exactly what you feel you have to do anyway.
Well, you want one last one?
All right, the last one I have. I feel like this one's not a good one to go out on. You know?
I have one more that I could do, if you wanted.
Yeah, we'll go out on that one then.
Okay.
This one's like whatever. But don't read it yet, because it's got to be the best one that we leave on.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to go out on this one.
Okay, I'm looking it up.
Let me read this one first, then.
Go ahead.
Okay. Some seep the cabin. Some seep the Cabbath, going to Gertch.
This sounds like a stroke. Right?
Some keep the Sabbath going to church. Some keep the Sabbath going to church. I keep it staying at home, with a bobolink for a chorister, and an orchard for a dome. Orchard. Sorry. I'm struggling. Some keep the Sabbath in surplice. I just wear my wings. And instead of tolling the bell for church, our little sexton sings. That sounds dirty, but it's a bird. God preaches, and noted clergyman, and the sermon is never long. So instead of getting to heaven at last, I'm going all along. And Emily Dickinson wrote this, which I think is great because she was, like, a lesbian, and at the time definitely should have been a good Christian girl, but she was like, you know what? I get the same feelings that most people get sitting and singing in a beautiful building as I do just staying outside in my, like, orchard and listening to the birds sing. So...
He says was?
Was
the lesbian? Or...
You want Emily Dickinson to still be alive? Want her to be kicking it? And vibing? But yeah, I like that. I like that she's like, I'm nature is heaven already.
Yeah, for sure. Sucks that, church is where you find God, but also where you learn to judge.
Oh. Well, you now know that Emily Dickinson is is gay and not God-fearing. So what more do you need to know, really? If you love her. She was a cat lady, basically. But she really was. Like, she stayed inside. I don't know if the lesbian stuff is true. That's, like, people believe it based on her writings. But she absolutely historically did stay inside and just send, like, little gifts and notes to her neighbors. Like, she was somebody who was basically a cat lady.
Yeah. He clarified that he thought that she had, like, a change of heart.
Oh, yeah. No, you're looking at Emily Dickinson then. I didn't have to end up going after that coworker.
The reincarnation.
Yep.
Yes. Never mind, that's a bad joke.
No, go for it.
Her name used to be Emily Vaginson, and she changed it to Emily Dickinson. So she just had a change of heart.
That's perfect.
All right, so that is for this. Do you want this to be the last one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're hitting almost an hour and a half. Very good.
So this is I wrote this is called "If You Don't Stand for Something," which is just basically like, I don't know, uses idioms and kind of turns them on themselves. So it goes. The first arisen bird that failed to find a worm, the soul that played with fire and yet somehow was not burned, a picture that was valued at a mere 900 words, a fonder heart pre-absence, an apple that fell far from the tree, the horse that chose to drink, the squeaky wheel that got no grease, and the sword that chose to fight the pen and left the pen deceased. The one head that outwitted two was a chooser who often begs, and all the missing items actually grew legs.
I like that. That's just cute. The absurdity of it. It belongs in the Shel Silverstein and Bo Burnham collections.
Yeah, it is a little definitely on the absurd side for sure.
Travis likes it.
Oh, good. I wonder if Emily Vaginson or Dickinson would like it. Which version?
She would. Both of them.
All
right.
Definitely appreciate Travis, you joining. Drew,
Bless.
Always appreciate you.
And Jess.
And Jess, and I don't know if Mom.
Look at me, I'm rhyming. It's rubbing off on me, all this poetry. And Mom, yeah, shut up, Mom. Oh, yeah, Emily Vaginson would have loved the whole thing. This
entire
whole
hour
thing.
and 30.
Yep. If there is a poem, because I'm sure, we did random collections today. there will be a point where we will want to do poetry again. I do not doubt. Whether that's reading our own poems or we find and discover one. I know there's more poems I like that I did not read today, that they were just like a little bit harder to digest, and I was like, I don't want to come off pretentious and talk too much. I feel like I shouldn't pause too much after saying something that self-deprecating, but
I just should really shut the fuck up sometimes. Just like once in a while, just not talk. I can't help myself. I just keep going. It's just like so toxic, but I can't stop myself.
God, I just
I just want to shut up, but I can't.
Oh, can anybody?
Did anybody just for any?
Shut the fuck up for
yeah,
any
for
amount of time on anything.
1 hour.
But if there is a poem that you know, yeah, certified. That just needs to be a badge I wear. If there is a poem that you know that you want us to read, if there is a book you know that you want us to read, if there is, gosh, I mean, a scientific journal entry that you're like, the world needs to know, you can have your gut issues fixed by
Swapping
feces
your poop.
implants.
Yeah, exactly. You can swap poop with people and it works.
Here's the scientific journal stating all the facts. Exactly the steps you need to know how to blend your poop without contaminating it, so you can do at home enemas.
With your family. At the next family reunion.
You can't reuse that blender for anything afterwards.
Ninja made it. Just designed the blender just for this. It's the Ninja 3000.
But it'll be worth it, we promise. It is worth the price of your dignity in the blender.
Totally.
Because no more tummy ouches.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
I'm sold too, dude.
He said, you had me. Read it. Go for it.
I wonder what the user manual looks like for that product. Get your friends. You gather together.
No, I think doctors
Do
are
you need a
still
sample? Do you need
trying to get
Yes.
that to be like certified by the FDA as
Can
like.
you put it in a Ziploc bag and send it first class, please? Yes. I need to be as healthy as it can be.
Oh, perfect. Oh, what a true saint right there.
Oh, yeah. Always has been.
We could do it on camera. YouTube channel is going somewhere so.
Delivered to the porch. It shows up like a greasy bag of Five Guys fries.
Like we were gonna turn a bag of poop on fire on your porch. Prank gone wrong.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Please be first.
We need you.
Ugh.
Alright. Let us know.
Cardboard box.
We will be on, what, Monday?
Yeah,
We'll be taking a break this weekend.
for sure. We're
Is
just
that right?
putting things to the test here.
Yep.
Alright. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you very much. We need to come out with like an outro, like a book and brain themed outro. On Victoria Day. Okay, well, I know what that is. That is the very American response to that somehow.
Victoria Day. Actually, on Victoria Day in middle school, I was part of marching band, and we traveled
Yeah.
up and did a marching band. We were part of a parade. Our marching band was for Victoria Day. I remember that very specifically. It was a pretty big deal. It was like the first time I had really
that
got
would be
to go to
cool.
Canada.
Yeah.
It was like 8th grade.
I was always so jealous because I was in Dorchestra, so I was like, dang, why don't we go on cool trips?
I don't know, Drew, do you remember that? Like, back in middle school, they did, like, the band did, like, trips to Canada? Like, you had to be in the marching band? I don't know if you know, yeah. Anyway.
ChatGPT says this is a good outro.
Okay.
So I will stop recording after I read this. I'm going to lock it in, trusting ChatGPT with all of my heart.
Yeah, Drew remembers. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for turning the page with us. Shut up, let him cook. Let him cook.
Oh god, I had had to swallow. It was so fizzy in my nose. It was so bad. My eyes are watering. Oh, God. No.
That's what she said.
Ah! It's my nose. Thanks for turning the page of this.
Until
Oh.
next time, keep reading, keep thinking, and keep the conversation alive.
Nice.
We're killing it. We're pulling the plug on it right now.
Peace. Later.
Alright, bye guys.